foundation of your entire life crumbles around you. You had no idea that there were walls there in the first place. How do you carry on like it's some sort of playtime, knowing full well that there are bigger things at stake? My name is Natalya. I'm what people call a jack of all trades. I know what to say to get through the day, but I also know how to disrupt it at any moment's notice. It makes life fun, even when it's not supposed to be. I live with my father, Andrew, a man who could out-jolly Santa Claus and beat Bigfoot in a body hair competition any day of the week. We work a man down in the mines on the weekdays and the bar on the weekends. And the reason why I dress in mostly hand-me-down clothes for some of the scrawnier miners. Okay. We also have a dog called Billy who retained a wet dog smell in the desert. My best friend, Natalya, think of the most I'm not like the other girl you ever met. And then shove her aside. Natalya is actually not like other girls. Ever since a comedy film where there's a funny person and a straight man to keep the comedy in line, keep the story going along. Well, ever seen? Okay. That's Natalya, except for the fact that she knows when to stoke a fire when need be. She's blunt, straightforward, and I don't think I would have lasted a day without her giving me the inspiration to be an idiot when the time calls for it. The story starts as any modern story should, a few years before the actual story. I remember it was just another overcast day. I hadn't really done much socializing in school at that time, mostly because I was either a little too eccentric or a little too shy. I was like a roulette wheel back then. As I entered the playground, I took in the sights and sounds, concrete and screaming kids. Perfect way to start the day. And there, just beside the swing, was Claudia. Hey, what are you up to? Hi, Natty. I was just playing house. Wanna join? Claudia's hands were a few little cups and saucers, plastic obviously, that had been taken from various dolls and toys. Some were small, some were large enough to be used for real liquids. She being wide, eagerly holding one of the cups out to me. Sure. Great, okay, so I'll be mommy and you be I can be your mommy as well. Better at making tea than you anyway. Your dad doesn't even let you use the kettle, silly. Well, that's because he knows if I could use it, I'd make the best tea around. Both giggled, getting on with our playtime. Classes wouldn't start for a while, so we could easily have some fun in the meantime. Minutes passed as we got lost in our little land of make-believe. But nice to just blow off steam, even back then. Now, Mama Natty says it's time for bed. Claudia's arms was a piece of paper with a crudely drawn child on it. Despite having time to wrangle up all of that doll cutlery, she forgot to bring an actual doll. Happens. I do not. I'm a cool mom here. I like our kids to stay up super late. We're talking past 8 here. You get sleepy at 3. You fell asleep at my birthday party last year. You only woke up because a shoe fell on you. Plus, I don't think it's fair for you to be a tea mom and a cool mom. Well, okay, first of all, hey, let me play. So I was a bully. Maybe he's not a bully, but I don't know. His entrance screams bully. We both jolted our heads to the side to see what the newfound commotion was. Scruffy knees, hair like a mop, shirt with a decal on it that had been picked to the point where it almost slipped off with a strong gust of wind. That was bad, alright, with Matthew. Let me see. Hey Matt, I mean, we're playing house, not exactly something boys do, is it? How would you want to play with some girlies? Well, can't have a house without a dad. Getting on just fine with 2 moms. Is that even allowed? It sure is. One of us is cool and brews tea, you know? Claudia was like a knight in shining suit of armor sometimes. But he would replace the suit of armor with a shirt that said, "I'm going to win this argument because I said so." Clearly it had an effect on Matt. And him just seemed off after that. That's not right. That's what I've been saying. She can't do both. No, that's wrong. That's so weird. It's mommy and dad. I mean, mom and dad. How it's supposed to be. That's what my brother told me. But you just don't want to play. You could just say so. Well, we definitely don't want you around when you're acting like this. You're freaks. Be a dad or something. No. Nah, we'll stick with this. Thanks. Feel good to be a rebel. It's not gay, dumb, stupid gay. Oh, wow. Okay. It is pride, but we don't need to be doing that. Don't seem to be the matter, child. Shiver shot up my spine as I heard that voice. It was like a snake got stuck in the throat of a toad. The sunlight was blocked out by the towering stature of its owner. A sick-like figure that was exaggerated by a stiff blazer and donned Father Clems. Oh boy. You do not toss that word around lightly, my child. I'm not tossing around lightly. They're gay. Matt pointed the fire finger at us. Gay? What does that even mean? We're only playing. Well, you're gay. Now, children, please forsake that language. Natalya, Claudia, care to explain? We both looked at each other partially in confusion and mostly in fear they would eat us if we said the wrong thing. Tuesday, I firmly believed that if I looked into Clement's eyes long enough, I'd grow gray hairs. We were playing house, me and Natalya. The only ones around, so we went with two mommies instead of a mommy and a daddy. As I see, children, you had best watch your words when it comes to such things. Marriage is a sacred bond, after all. You should know better than to sully it, fantasy or not. What is that supposed to mean? It means that such connections are unholy, unnatural, and unwanted in this fine house of the Lord. All we were doing was drinking imaginary tea. Thanks, Matthew. This isn't the house of the Lord. These are swings and our house. This you don't take that tone with me, Claudia, especially not when you reference such filth. I'm taking a tone. We're only playing the game. You're being gay. You're gay. Cretins. Silence. Clement's face worked and stretched like an unholy demon as he glared and get daggers at us. I expected Wayne to grow from his back as an intimidation too. For the first time in my life, I saw Claudia burst into tears. I mean, she was good at putting on a strong front, and yet it just felt so wrong. Claudia and Natalya, both of you will be staying behind and cleaning the equipment this afternoon for ineptitude and impudence. Maybe then you will learn a lesson about what it seems to be obey the words of those above you. We both shared a look of dismay with no smart comebacks. Thanks, Matthew. After school was finished, I had successfully been covered in chalk dust, the board, and made my way back home with Dad. No Billy this time, and he seemed more content to just lick his own butt by radiation. Tried here and there about our days, mostly just Dad's, as he liked to make up adventures for me to listen along to. When we got home and I hopped into the house, looked up at him with an intrigued look right onto my face. Dad? Yeah, sweetie? Did you ever play house when you were little? He let out a belly laugh, ruffling a hand through his beard as he was Santa Claus. Oh, that's a new one. When I was there, I really didn't do much of that. Mostly it was running around in muck. Lots of fun indeed. You'll see the appeal one day, kiddo. Just gotta find the right patch of mud to wallow in, like a big old warhol. Yeah. Well, it's a game where people pretend to be. Yes, dearie, I know what it is. Your old man may be rough, but he still knows about what the ladies indulge in. Well, we got yelled at today for playing it. Oh, how come? Is this something you did to do while you left late today? I'm sure even a disorderly make-believe household is a cause for concern. I don't know, me and Claudia were just playing together, being two mommies making tea, and they stopped there playing the hand on the shoulder. He had a slight worrisome look on his face, just freaking at home his temple between his thumb and forefinger. Looked like he was taking a moment to process what I just said. But weird just shut him down by mentioning the child's hearing. I'm tired, sweetie. Playtime is the time of make-believe. There's nothing wrong with that. You have to be careful what you say. There's still things you shouldn't do when you're with your best friends. What do you mean, Dad? It's just 2 hours aren't, how do I put it? But you two playing with 2 miles would be the equivalent of me going to my friends while wearing a puffy tutu and fairy wings. Sniggered a bit, trying my best to imagine the sight. I quickly regretted that, as I'd never actually seen a photo of my dad from his youth. Let's imagine his modern day self. Never almost as hairy as his beard. He had the summer vacation photo to prove it, so I laughed like a stare relief returned to his face. So you see, you just need to be careful is all. I'm not having my daughter discuss such nonsense. You're gonna meet a big, strong, strapping lad, and you won't have to worry about such conundrums. You really think so? I know so. Matt boy is a good fit, ain't he? And can all be winners. Seeing tradition, as they said in those weird documentaries that I always caught Dad watching at midnight. It was midday, maybe half a dozen years later. As the time sort of becomes hard to track when you get older. So, are you ready? I was snapped out of the regularly scheduled daydream session by Claudia. She was clutching a notebook in one hand, a pen in the other, and lightly pacing up and down. Ready as I'll ever be. I don't see why you always get anxious about religious classes. It's like getting scared about maths or geography. Claudia, you're scared of geography. You mixed up Austria and Australia in last month's assessment, and now you shudder every time you look at the map. What ensued was about to be 3 minutes of Claudia frantically waving her arms around, narrated by what could be described as the vocal equivalent of a duck gargling water. It's not, Hey, calm down, I'm just playing. I'll make sure that if we ever go on holiday, I'll make sure it's a country with an easier name to remember. Can you idle conversation for a few moments? We're taking our seats. Classroom was gradually beginning to fill up with other students followed by the beast incarnate. Oh. Hello again, class. Once he began to speak, there was always something cold about his voice. The manner of speaking always made it sound like he was disapprovingly reading a newspaper rather than actually talking to someone. Sheer lack of life in his eyes, the absence of color in his body, honestly incredible to think that someone could look like a well-done steak and still have a teaching license. Today we will be studying the works of previous students. In order to gauge your own success in the wide world, you must measure yourself against those that come before you. Those that cannot learn from the past are doomed to repeat it. Peeing across, I could see Claudia looking visibly confused by Clement's rambling. Just a class, no need to listen to instill doom and gloom on us all. True. Putting down her notebook resting on her desk as she jammed her fingers on top of it. Your desk you'll see each find some of the more disappointing papers that I've had to endure throughout my sort of career. Not little those that came before you, of course, but sometimes the greatest minds must endure the most irritating hardships and mistakes. I'm sure you will all agree. Look down at the workstations with every student in the room, reacting to their contents in different ways. Some chuckle, some visibly wince at the sight, some just idly glare down at their papers. Here are the contents of mine, blowing the straight hair out of my face. I did my best to retain some vague form of concentration. Something about this just felt wrong. I was actually happy about having to snoop through the work of others. I'd already put in their blood, sweat, and tears to get out of this place. Now then, please receive the marked grade and alter them accordingly. You'll find my own commentary throughout to guide you. It's a civil warming up task, so feel free to put your own spin on things. Then an icy smile slipped onto his face for a moment. Stretching his lips like a piece of worn elastic. Didn't last, and as his mouth returned to its natural stiffness, a mere seconds later. Rather than that you do it correctly, you're my blessing and enjoy some chatter while you work. Everyone here has been provided with different sheets, so work together to correct them all. I'm sure you all enjoy the pride that such vast superiority will bring. The smile accompanied by a horrendous little chuckle. Ever seen those cheesy horror films? Black and white ones? It was like that. I'm sure if we looked hard enough, we'd see some brittle fangs in his mouth. Look around the room again, lots of people were congregating in corners, around each other's desks, finding their own little groups and cliques, and excuse to gossip while they worked. All except for Claudia, who was just glaring wildly at her paper. Is everything okay? Look, you've seen a ghost. One other than the living statue up there, I mean. I find it's been, I don't know, I feel like I shouldn't be here right now. So that's supposed to mean this is the class we always have right now. No, it's not that. Clement said he gave us all unique papers, right? Oh, I looked through mine. Did you find it a little odd he really gave me one that comments about gay people in it? With my eyebrows about that. Claudia likes to take things to heart, sure. But she reading it too deep into things? I don't think so. Glad there was at least some hustle and bustle in the classroom. Heard most of what we were saying fairly naturally. Yeah, as if 5 Clemens would give you a random student paper as some sort of petty revenge for a random argument that happened on the playground a billion years ago. Relax a little. A random argument that both of us still remember vividly. Thank you for proving my point. You hear me like that? I'm sure it was a coincidence. I'm sure a bunch of kids have had basic explains to them, you know? Yeah, you look at your paper? Of course I have mine's about see. At least by my own petard, I looked down my paper, seeing the Euro scribbles of a begone student. Read an essay about conformity within the Bible and have received several condescending comments from Father Clemens in bright red ink about this strict tradition and promoting hearsay. These critiques made the necessary improvements obvious, so I did confirm, think the same, do the same. Judging by how you're staring daggers through your paper, all I have to ask is that a happy, terrifying glare, or Claudia as always, terrifying glare? Backed up, but Claudia had a little smile on her face. It sucked hard. Somehow, even in a situation like this, Claudia knew how to get us both in a better mood. It was her route to begin with, after all. It's okay. I think our teacher believes in anarchy and kissing to women to be both punishable offense, terrifying glare. At that point, Claudia pressed a folded note into my hand, looked over at the notebook from before, flung open her desk with a visibly high amount of pages torn out. Feel the rough edge of the sheet crumbling against my palm as she kept her fingers squeezed around mine. Open that later. It'll explain a lot. Claudia brought her hands to her paper. I turned mine over to look at the outside note, mostly just to make sure that I hadn't damaged it at all. At that point, it was snatched out of my hand by... I said I wouldn't tolerate chatter assistance, but I didn't say anything about silly little notes. He took the note along his fingers, not once breaking the stare that he held on both of us. Paula's face had flared up. She looked like she was so desperately wanting to say something, or for the ground to swallow her whole. I knew I couldn't say anything back, otherwise he'd give me some sort of lecture about the paper. I predicted this? What kind of freaky, manipulative person would? Guess you need my words more literally next time, rather than liberally. It may very well be your lonely chance to correct your path. Don't catch my eye again, girls, or serious repercussions will be in order. And what could only be described as the only thing Father Clemens has ever done. She dropped a note onto Claudia's desk before walking away, back to her secret hideout where he stored the souls of... We got cut off. But yeah. Let's see about Claudia's desk. He knows. Knows what? Claudia snapped back to reality, stuttering a little before looking at me with an awkward, cheesy grin. Nothing, sorry, he just scares me. You'd think I'd gotten used to it over the years, but it's like he's half snake and uses his tail to tower over us or something. Sure as they might be, I'm not buying it. Oh, what's up? You can tell me. Claudia peeked around the room before shaking her head. Some other time, it's supposed to be going to your place tonight, right? So you then, be easier that way. Rather than using my scrubby handwriting. Both shared a low laugh. Granted, I didn't know exactly what the context was, but Claudia seemed to be in higher spirits than before. She always thought that had worked before sitting back to our paper, or homework, because they got cut off again. It felt a little bit weird as we basically had to play the whole role of Father Clemens. Splitting the work of students whose tenures had long since passed by and making the work acceptable. It's all well and good until... Hey, check it out, mine's got it. Watch your tongue, child. Emily and Clemens' warning fell on deaf ears. Still more people joining in the rally. No wait, mine too. Is that even loud here? That's hilarious. Guys and gals in a cage. Guys and gals in a rage. Actually, no idea what was so funny. A little funny, but I forgot everyone else here was the same bored boat as us. Natalya called with a grin, nudged her arm with her elbow as I whispered to her, "Hey, dare me to join in?" They have sex education in other schools across town. You can see Hero doing it, you know. Seriously? Scripture says it's unholy though, so what does that make us? It's funny, who cares? Besides, not like we're actually doing it. Her expression was one of the hardest to read in a long time. It was as if she was doing her best to hide in the laugh, while putting the words oral to her poker face. Could tell emotion was supposed to be winning. Natty, let me think about it. You'll die. Probably for real. Calling out the sigh of relief as I gradually lowered myself back down to my feet. I stood up slightly like a peeking meerkat in my haste to become a class clown. I think I just saw my life flash before my eyes. And when I both, if you die, hypothetically, would you give me your dog? He likes me more than you. Looks to his butt and falls over. I don't think he can tell the difference between us. I don't figure out who he likes better. Charlie ruckus around the scene to come to crescendo. They're coming. Wow. It isn't enough. Clearly I have been far too lenient with you all. Allowing such freedom from the goodness of my own heart was too much. Give you a meter. You all take a mile. Goodness of the heart. Okay. May the Lord have mercy on you for your impudence, children. Were it not for my obligations, I would have taken matters in my own hands, so consider yourself lucky that my morals are bound by these walls. Clemens grumbled and growled as he made his way back to his desk. He would visibly all be shaken, with most silent chatter returning to the room. All the other experts a sigh of relief. Pleased we hadn't gotten ourselves involved. Good that we were the direct target of Clemens' ire for a change. Something still irked me. I can't help but wonder, what if I had stood up for Claudia earlier? Still felt strange that Clemens had a grudge for something that had happened years ago after all. Yeah. I'll take a minute to save. Versus the main menu. Yeah. Because unfortunately, I do have obligations, so I can't play this game as long as I want to. For a current moment, just might do a part 2 because there is like 14,000 words in this visual novel, so it's not like a really short one. So I might do a part 2 for this. We'll see. But if you enjoyed this video, or I guess a game so far, and you want to play it for yourself, everything will be in the description below for you to do that. And if you enjoyed this video, of course, you know, you can like, share, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. You know, if you subscribe, of course, you know, hit that notification bell so you get to see more videos, stuff like this. If you like mostly visual novels of that sort, some other stuff too, here and there. Also do stream on Twitch, so if you want to watch me on Twitch, you can. Same name, pretty much. But yeah, so I'm gonna end it here. This is Serendipity. It's a bit more, I guess you could say, in depth. Created by a team of LGBTQ artists and one straight person. They put that on there, but it's, you know, more so interactive fiction, so it's more, you know, more interactive. But yeah, so I'm gonna end it here. Hope you had a good day, yesterday, and better tomorrow, and I will catch y'all in the next video.